some really exciting news because oh my lord, there's a really big fly here. Oh, you can't see him. Well, okay. I have a fear for insects, so this is going to be something on my trip. Okay, what I want to tell you is I got some really exciting news because my 2 front lights of the camper weren't working. Well, they were working, but it was really a thing because you had to switch the switch for the lights before they would turn on, even though everything else was already turned on. So there was something wrong with this switch, and first we couldn't really figure out what it was, but now the mechanic fixed it, and the mechanic is also a friend of ours. So he fixed it finally. I have to tell you that most of the things done in my camper were done by myself, but most of the things was made by my mom and her boyfriend, because as you can see in some of my pictures on Instagram, Sophie.onwheels, my camper was from the inside and outside really old. So I had to turn everything into something pretty and nice and comfy, because this was going to be, or is going to be, my little home on wheels. So I wanted another kitchen top. I wanted everything to be painted. I wanted new curtains, which my mom made. The boiler wasn't really working, so I didn't have warm water, and my sister's boyfriend looked at this, but most of the time my mother's boyfriend looked into this. He drove to places all over the Netherlands, just trying to fix this boiler so I could have warm water. The lights weren't working, as I just told you, and some other stuff I don't even know. Oh yeah, the solar panels. I did this by myself, but also with some help, of course, from people who really know how to work with solar panels. What else? Well, there were so many things that weren't really working, and when I bought this camper, I thought everything was working, so that was a bit of a downside. But now everything is working and it looks perfectly fine, so I'm really ready to move into the camper in 2 weeks. Another thing that you should know about me is that before buying this camper, I hadn't driven a car for 4 years, I think. I think I have my driver license for 5, almost 6 years now, but I haven't driven a car in 4 years, because once I got my driver license, I moved to London for 7 months to be an au pair. And when I came back, I moved to Amsterdam, and I never needed a car, so I never drove anymore. So this created a fear of driving, really, or I was really nervous every time I stepped into a car, let alone a camper. So I practiced a lot in a car at first, then I bought my camper, and then I started to practice in this camper. And also my dad helped me get over my fear of driving, and my mom, of course. But my dad and I went to Belgium to practice driving on up and down hills, because I have never driven a car outside of the Netherlands. So this was my first time with my dad, and it was so nice to see that I can actually do this stuff, you know, and my camper can do this and can handle this. So it was an emotional weekend, full of joy, but also full of laughter with my dad, but also emotional in the sense of being proud of yourself for driving. It sounds silly because I'm going to live in a camper, but for me it was just a big step. Because I hadn't driven a car in such a long time. Yeah, so something to know about me when you see me driving a car or driving my camper. I'm going to grab my bike, but it's raining in Amsterdam as usual. It's always raining. No, that's not true. But this summer, I don't know. Some people say it's a perfectly fine summer for here, for in the Netherlands. But I think it's quite a shitty summer. Some days are really hot, and then the other days are always it's always raining. So I'm grabbing my bike right now, and then I'm going to ride my bike for 30 minutes to meet up with my two best friends. Wee wee. So I've had a really nice time at Chris and Wesley. Unfortunately, they don't want to be on video. But now I'm going to cycle back for half an hour and I'm going to sleep because I'm quite tired. And I will see Malcolm again, so yay! Right now I'm walking with my cat Malcolm in the Wester Park in Amsterdam. And she's doing perfectly fine for a cat on a leash. Cats are of course not used to being on a leash, but I trained her, and this is only her second time, but I trained her to be in her harness before. So I just got back from the Kalverstraat, which is a shopping street in Amsterdam. I never go there, but this time is really time because my boyfriend Dennis needed some new jeans and new shirts, and this is the place where you can really go through a lot of stores. But it was so busy. I think all the tourists are back in Amsterdam, and I'm glad we only went for 2 or 3 hours, and we also had a lunch together, which was really nice. We saw a really cool car. And it drove actually, because it's a car, in the water. So it was a boat slash car. Never seen it before. I went to do some grocery shopping, but when I got home, I realized that I forgot my keys inside. So now I went to my dad's to pick up the spare key. And now I'm finally home after 40 minutes. And the door. Yay! What a waste of time! Got them! Right now I'm at the mechanic because I'm picking up Moose, my camper. Because we have a little get together with the family today. Just some coffee, tea, soda, some cookies, a small, really small high tea, really.
Ik heb hem nog niet losgelaten. Je mag een sowieso pakken en pas even het zwaarste, oké.
I just parked my camper in Purmerend again. And the dinner or high tea with my family was really nice. Everyone got together and 2 of my friends came. So thank you all for being there. And something weird happened something ridiculous happened really, because when I lock my camper, I have 2 front doors of course, so when I lock it I always check it. However, this time I had to open the camper from the inside because I always lock this door. Let me show you. This door over here, I always lock it when I drive. So this time I had to open this door, climb through here, and through there, and then open that door to be able for people to walk into my camper, of course. And when I showed the whole family, everyone saw it, I closed my 2 front doors again, and I also locked that door because otherwise anyone could just come into my house. And I think the belt got stuck between my front door and the lock, and this time I didn't really check it because I was just so emotional about saying goodbye, I think, and also happy of showing everyone my camper. And then maybe 15 minutes later, someone came into the building where we are having this high tea, and he said, "I think someone is in your camper." And this makes me just so mad. I haven't even left the Netherlands, or haven't even left Amsterdam, and already some junks, two junks, went into my camper uninvited. So it just makes me angry. I can't even talk anymore. I was just so angry, and then I had to drive back here to Purmerend, and it all got stuck in my mind. I was like, how can you do that to someone? You know, you could ruin a whole trip for someone, and I haven't even left the Netherlands. But okay, I think this is the first time, and I hope it will be the last time that someone will come into my camper uninvited. I'm actually really precautious when it comes to closing up the camper and leaving the camper. I close every window I have. I always let down every curtain I have a steering wheel lock, and I always double check the doors, usually when I leave the camper. My camper is really old, it's 32 years old, so it looks old as well, and people just don't assume that there's a lot of money in there, which is also the case because I don't have an expensive laptop or anything. So yeah, this is everything I do to keep my camper safe. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is already the second video I uploaded this week, which won't be the case every week of course, but the previous video was recorded beforehand, and this is why I can also upload this video right now. I think if I want to post a video, this will be on Sundays, but again, this depends on the Wi-Fi signal I have. So I hope to see you next video, and if you like this video, you know what to do, bro. Ciao.